Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. In the final leg of his five-nation visit, Prime Minister Modi is in the capital Windhoek, Namibia, where he was received by Selma Shipala Musavi, Minister of International Relations and Trade, at the airport. Prime Minister Modi received a grand welcome by the Indian diaspora as he arrived at the State Guest House in Windhoek. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was accorded a ceremonial welcome at the State House. PM also received a 21-gun salute at the ceremonial welcome in Namibia. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also signed the Visitors' Book, marking a significant moment of India-Namibia camaraderie. Greeted by Namibian officials, PM Modi exchanged warm handshakes, symbolizing strong bilateral ties. During a cabinet meeting at the White House, President Donald Trump said he is probably 2 days off from sending the European Union a letter disclosing the tariff rate on their exports to the US. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said on Wednesday that EU is working closely with the US President's administration to reach a trade deal, but Brussels is getting ready for all scenarios. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is also optimistic that the European Union can agree a trade deal with the United States by the end of this month at the latest. Malaysia's Trade Minister Tengku Zafrul Aziz said on Wednesday that the country has no plans to retaliate against a 25% tariff levied on its goods by the United States and was still optimistic about reaching a trade deal. Russia's Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said on Wednesday that Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov will visit North Korea from July 11th to 13th. Russia's air defense units destroyed 2 drones that were heading towards Moscow. The mayor of the Russian capital said early on Wednesday flights were halted for about half an hour overnight at an international airport outside Moscow. Ukraine's Air Force said on Wednesday that Russia launched a report 7 to 8 drones against Ukraine and 13 missiles. It claimed to destroy 718 of the drones and 7 missiles. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russia's largest drone attack overnight on Ukraine showed the need for biting sanctions on Russia and secondary punitive measures against Russian oil. US President Donald Trump on Tuesday met for a second time in 2 days with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the Oval Office to discuss Gaza as Trump's Middle East envoy said Israel and Hamas were closing their differences on a ceasefire deal. Israeli Prime Minister praised US President Donald Trump after a meeting in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. He said that the coordination between the two countries is unmatched. Netanyahu also met with the US House Speaker Mike Johnson, Vice President J.D. Vance, as well as other members of Congress during his visit to Washington, D.C. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman met Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi in Jeddah on Tuesday in the first visit by an Iranian official to the Gulf Kingdom since Tehran's 12-day conflict with Israel. The Israeli military released a video on Tuesday set to show a strike on a key figure from Hamas near the northern Lebanese city of Tripoli, the first targeted killing in the area for several months. In a statement later on Tuesday, the Israeli military named the targeted person as Mehran Mustafa Bajur. They described him as one of Hamas's key commanders in Lebanon. Addressing the British Parliament on Tuesday, French President Emmanuel Macron said that Britain and France must work together to protect the international order. Emmanuel Macron attended a dinner with the British royal family at Windsor Castle on Tuesday, wrapping up the first day of a state visit to the United Kingdom. US President Donald Trump announced plans for a 50% duty on copper imports a day after the White House sent letters to Japan, South Korea and other countries about tariffs to kick in August 1st. Copper prices surged to all-time high after Trump said he plans to levy tariffs on the red metal, which came earlier than the industry had expected, and the rate was steeper. European shares nudged higher on Wednesday, supported by defense stocks as investors awaited signs of progress on a trade accord with the United States. The pan-European stock 600 index was up 0.2%. Other major regional indexes also traded higher. Stock markets around the Asia-Pacific were mixed on Wednesday. Japan's benchmark Nikkei 225 rose 0.86%. In South Korea, the benchmark Korea Composite Stock Price Index opened up 0.28%. In Hong Kong, the benchmark Hang Seng Index lost 0.36%. Global crude oil prices edged lower on Wednesday after rising to two-week highs in the previous session, weighed down by investors waiting for clarity on new U.S. tariffs and expectations of rising crude inventories in the United States. Malaysia's central bank cut its interest rate by 25 basis points on Wednesday, its first reduction in 5 years as a preemptive measure to sustain growth amid moderate inflation. Indian equity benchmark indices declined on Wednesday. The Sensex fell 238 points to stand at 83,474. The broader Nifty declined 45 points to stand at 25,477. Indian rupee closed stronger, ends higher at 85.68 against the US dollar. Gold futures maturing on August 5 priced at Rs 95,959 per 10 grams on the multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for September 5 maturity stood at Rs 107,809 per kg on the MCX. Union Home Minister Amit Shah held Sehkar Samvad with women from Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and other cooperative workers associated with the cooperative sector on the occasion of International Cooperative Year. A major tragedy struck early Wednesday morning as the Gambhira Bridge connecting Vadodara and Anand district collapsed suddenly, sending 4 vehicles plunging into the Mahisagar River. Prime Minister Narendra Modi condoled the loss of lives in the tragic incident and announced ex gratia of Rs 2 lakh from Prime Minister National Relief Fund to the next of kin of each deceased and Rs 50,000 each to those injured. India's National Investigation Agency arrested 3 persons following extensive searches in 2 districts of Karnataka in Lashkar-e-Taiba terror group's prison radicalization case of 2023. Searches were conducted at 5 locations in Bengaluru and Kolar districts of the state, leading to the arrest of a prison psychiatrist, a city armed reserve policeman and mother of an absconding accused. The Election Commission of India has expressed confidence that the ongoing special intensive revision exercise in Bihar will be completed well ahead of July 25 deadline. SIR in Bihar is progressing well with 37,077,077 enumeration forms, which is 46.95% of the total electors in Bihar. Nistar, the first indigenously designed and constructed diving support vessel, was delivered by Hindustan Shipyard Limited to the Indian Navy on Tuesday at Visakhapatnam. The warship has been designed and built as per classification rules of the Indian Register of Shipping. It is highly specialized and can undertake deep-sea diving and rescue operations. India's goal to eliminate tuberculosis by 2025 is one of the world's most ambitious health missions under the National Tuberculosis Elimination Programme. More than 46,000 Gram Panchayats have been declared TB-free across the country. Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh lead the tally with the maximum number of Panchayats declared TB-free. On Wednesday, 7th batch of pilgrims departed from the Nunwan base camp in Pahalgam, heading towards the ever-sacred Amarnath cave. In just 6 days since the Amarnath Yatra commenced, over 1 lakh pilgrims have participated. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha and along with other senior officials are closely overseeing Yatra arrangements, while voluntary and charitable organizations are running community kitchens for pilgrims. Several hospitals have also been set up along the Baltal route, where specialist doctors are working day and night to serve the pilgrims. A 57-second video purportedly showing former RBI Governor and current Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister Shaktikant Das endorsing an investment platform is going viral on social media. The Press Information Bureau confirmed that the video is digitally manipulated and completely fake. According to the PIB fact-check team, neither the RBI nor any government authority has launched or approved such a scheme. Global terror financing watchdog, the Financial Action Task Force, has said that e-commerce platforms have been used in the procurement of materials for a terrorist attack in Pulwama in Jammu and Kashmir and the Gorakhnath temple in Uttar Pradesh. Special NIA court at New Delhi extended the judicial custody of 2611 Mumbai attack mastermind Tavur Rana till August 13th. Meanwhile, NIA has filed a supplementary charge sheet against Tavur Rana. Central Bureau of Investigation takes alleged economic offender Monica Kapoor into custody and en route with her from the US to India. She is accused of a 2002 import-export fraud. In a fresh statement, the Commission for Air Quality Management said that all end-of-life vehicles will be denied fueling from 1st of November 2025 in Delhi, Gurugram, Faridabad, Ghaziabad, Gautam Budh Nagar and Sonipat. Alright, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
Can the US launch a bombing campaign against Iran? The Philippines vessel suffered structural damage. The saga of child sexual abuse is the United States China's debt trap strategy. Truth is stranger than fiction. But sometimes hard to uncover. Trust us to tell the truth, unadulterated and pure, of every story that matters to you.
Exactly what save your country.
You read between the lines, cut the clutter, and connect the dots to get you the full picture. Watch Connecting the Dots at these times with me, only on DD.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. Death toll in flash floods in Texas has risen to 109 and 180 others were known to be missing. Texas Governor Greg Abbott toured the devastation from the flash flood on Tuesday. Search and rescue teams are wading through mud-piled riverbanks as more rain and thunderstorms threaten the region, but hope was fading of finding any more survivors 4 days after the catastrophe. Torrential rains caused flash floods in New Mexico, resulting in at least 3 deaths, including 2 young children, and trapping dozens in homes and vehicles in the resort village of Ruidoso. Emergency teams conducted 85 swift water rescues, saving people stranded in cars and homes. The severity of the debris flow was heightened by wildfire-scarred landscape stripped of vegetation, followed by heavy rainfall that eroded the soil. A wildfire that reached the northwestern outskirts of France's second city of Marseille lost intensity overnight, but firefighters were still battling the flames on Wednesday. Marseille's airport may close to commercial flights if the fire worsens to prioritize air resources for firefighting efforts. Bodies of 9 people who fell victim to the flash floods that hit Rasuwa in Nepal on Monday night have been recovered, while 19 more people are reported missing. A 383-member police team mobilized to rescue affected people by the floods has saved 57 people so far. Heavy and persistent monsoon rains have disrupted life in various parts of Bangladesh on Tuesday night, inundating low-lying areas, triggering waterlogging and raising concerns of potential flash floods, particularly in the country's southeastern districts. The India Met Department have put several regions under alert for heavy to extremely heavy rainfall, thunderstorms and gusty winds. Heavy showers expected over central state of Madhya Pradesh from July 8th to 14th with thunderstorms and strong winds. East MP and Chhattisgarh may face intense cloud-to-ground lightning today. Parts of Indian northern states of Uttarakhand and Himachal will see heavy rain this week. In the western India, Konkan, Goa, Gujarat and Maharashtra's Ghat regions brace for wet conditions from July 8 to 10. On the other hand, amongst the northeast states, Tripura faces extremely heavy rain on July 8, while the others will get steady rainfall. A rare operational Apple I computer, one of only 50 built by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak in 1976, is up for auction at Sotheby's in New York. This particular model, known as Romkey Apple I, is expected to fetch between $400,000 and $600,000. Sotheby's is also auctioning the largest Martian meteorite ever found on Earth, known as NWA 16788, weighing 24.5 kg. This rare specimen is expected to fetch between $2 million and $4 million at the July 16 auction in New York. Discovered in the year 2023 in Niger, the meteorite is described as a once-in-a-generation find that provides a link to our celestial neighbor that has long captured the human imagination. Sotheby's is also auctioning a rare juvenile Ceratosaurus skeleton, one of only 4 known Ceratosaurus specimens in the world and only juvenile example ever found. Unearthed in 1996 in Wyoming, the specimen skull offers exceptional research value, with the complete skull being incredibly rare in fossil discoveries. Mosaic artist Edward Chapman has created a large-scale portrait of Osis Liam and Noel Gallagher, paying tribute to the band's reunion tour. The portrait of Osis Liam and Noel Gallagher is made from hundreds of pieces of broken vinyl records, chosen because of the band's musical significance. The Bayeux Tapestry, an 11th century masterpiece, will be loaned to Britain by France, marking the first time it has crossed the Channel in over 900 years. The tapestry will be displayed at the British Museum from September 2026 to July 2027. In exchange, France will borrow Britain's Sutton Hoo collection and the Louis Chessman. The 2025 Wife Carrying World Championships concluded in Finland with over 200 participants from 18 countries competing in the unique event. Salab and Justin Rosler from the United States took the top spot in the main race. The event's traditional format involves couples racing through an obstacle course with water and sand, while the wife is carried by the husband. A life-size replica of the McLaren Formula One car driven by Lando Norris and his teammate Oscar Piastri is going on display just days after Norris won his home British Grand Prix for the first time. The Lego version of McLaren's MCL39 F1 car was built from nearly 400,000 Lego bricks and weighs around 2,420 kilograms. Chanel showed its latest collection of haute couture in an all-beige salon at the Grand Palais in Paris. Apple is in talks to acquire the US broadcast rights to screen Formula One when the contract becomes available next year, following the success of Brad Pitt's star F1, the movie. The cast of the reboot Fantastic Four First Steps visited Paris ahead of the release of the latest MCU film. The movie stars American-Chilean actor Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic, and is set for release in France on July 23rd. The cast and crew of Superman walked the red carpet of the Hollywood world premiere. The new movie will hit the US cinemas on Friday. Bridgerton actress Simone Ashley has joined the cast of The Devil Wears Prada 2. The British star will be seen alongside original cast members Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci. Alright, we are getting you these visuals from Namibia, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in delegation level talks with the Namibia. Prime Minister Modi holds high-level delegation talks with Namibian President Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah in Windhoek, focusing on deepening India-Namibia ties So you can see in the visuals, Indian delegation and Namibian delegation, they hold high-level delegation talks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi with Indian delegation and Dr. Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah, Namibian President, with the Namibia delegation in Windhoek, focusing primarily on deepening India-Namibia ties. Discussions covering cooperation in energy, health, education, digital technology, aiming to bolster bilateral partnership. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a 5-nation tour. This is the last leg of his 5-nation tour. First visit by an Indian Prime Minister to Namibia in 27 years, which is nearly 3 decades. So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding delegation level talks with Namibia. Also, discussions, like we said, covered cooperation in energy, health, education and digital technology, and we showed you in the visuals also Prime Minister Narendra Modi holding delegation level talks with Namibia, and you saw Prime Minister Narendra Modi there at Namibia, and will continuously will give you updates on that. But we'll go back to Express News. The new installment of Denis Villeneuve's epic sci-fi franchise Dune has been officially titled Dune Part 3. Filming on Dune Part 3 is set to begin with Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya reprising their roles. Danai Gurira is reuniting with the Black Panther co-star Michael B. Jordan in the remake of 1999 romantic heist film The Thomas Crown Affair. Apple TV Plus has greenlit season 7 of the critically acclaimed spy drama Slow Horses, starring Gary Oldman as Jackson Lamb, the leader of a team of MI5 misfits known as the Slow Horses. A US federal judge on Tuesday said that Sean Diddy Combs will be sentenced on October 3rd after the music mogul was convicted on prostitution-related charges. The third season of Japanese thriller series Alice in Borderland will be released on Netflix on September 25. The makers have also released the teaser of the series. Acclaimed Indian filmmaker Madhur Bhandarkar has kicked off production on his next film, The Wife, featuring an ensemble cast including Sonali Kulkarni, Moni Roy, Regina Cassandra and Rahul Bhatt. World number 1 Yannick Sinner will push for a first Wimbledon title as he takes on Ben Shelton in the quarterfinals on Wednesday. Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic feels confident in his quest for a record 25th Grand Slam title at Wimbledon ahead of quarterfinals showdown with Flavio Cobolli. In the women's draw, a 5-time Grand Slam champion Iga Swiatek clashes with Lyudmila Samsonova in the quarterfinals. The rising star, 18-year-old Mira Andreeva, faces a determined Belinda Bencic in the Wimbledon quarterfinals. Defending champion Carlos Alcaraz produced masterclass to defeat Britain's Cameron Norrie in straight sets and reached his third straight Wimbledon semi-finals. American 5th seed Taylor Fritz beat Karen Khachanov to reach his first Wimbledon semi-finals. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka survived a scare to move into the Wimbledon semi-finals with a hard-fought victory over Germany's Laura Siegemund. American Amanda Anisimova also booked her first Wimbledon semi-final spot, beating Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. India Jyoti Venom and Rishabh Yadav combined to set a world record in the mixed compound team qualification round at Archery World Cup Stage 4 in Madrid. India's batting coach Sitanshu Kotak says they expect England to roll out a challenging track for the third test at Lord's, but are confident their informed batters can master it. India women team will hope to clinch a historic series win when they face England women in the 4th T20 International in Manchester on Wednesday. Ahead of the tri-series against Zimbabwe and South Africa, New Zealand batter Finn Allen has been ruled out of the series due to injury. The India A men's hockey team kick-started their tour of Europe with a dominant 6-1 victory over Ireland in Eindhoven, Netherlands. Real Madrid will face Paris Saint-Germain in the Club World Cup semi-finals in New Jersey on Wednesday. Joao Pedro scored twice on his debut as Chelsea beat Fluminense 2-0 in New Jersey to reach the final of the Club World Cup. Alright, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.